Gears of War is a franchise I have a deep love for. I played this as a kid with my older brother, getting through 1 and 2 co-op together, defeating General Ram and Scourge, and I bought the Gears of War 3 Collector's Edition, a core memory cemented in my brain, and the game didn't disappoint, giving us not only an improved Horde mode, but Beast mode as well. These games have history, and so with it came a great line of toys. Let's go over them. Now, the success of the franchise led to Epic Games teaming up with NECA to produce toys in 2008. Series 1 started strong. We had Marcus Phoenix, Coltrane, a Locust sniper, and a Locust drone. Already off the bat, the detail was amazing. Paint jobs, multiple accessories, they could stand on their own and made sense with the in game lore. Our two cog soldiers had lancers, the grunt had a hammer burst, and the sniper, of course, had the long shot, which is interchangeable with other figures. Besides the sniper, the other figures came with their faction pistols, which I'm all for. The more accessories, the better, and these figures had them. And I can't ignore the packaging. It's compact and has the character art all over it, which looks especially great for the Locust characters. Buy a couple of these figures and you're slowly building an arsenal of Gears weapons. Now, Series 2 gave us a repacked Marcus Phoenix, Dom, Baird, and Theron Guard. The Theron Sentinel inching us closer to the full Delta squad and building the Locust army. Dom, of course, is essential. You gotta have him with Marcus. With my older brother, I was always player 2 in the campaign, so this figure has some sentimental value for me. Baird stands out because he comes with the Nasher shotgun, favorite weapon from the franchise, and they still give him a lance or two, making this figure stack. And the two Theron Guard figures, come on, man. The Locusts are just so cool in the franchise. The red in their armor and just the gritty look they gave them. The face sculpts are menacing, and their accessories continue to impress, with both getting torque bows. NECA's inclusion of all these different accessories makes it so rewarding because you can mix and swap weapons for different figures. The only other double stacked cog soldier was the Toys R Us exclusive Lieutenant Kim, who would go great with the other exclusive General Ram. Look at this beast. You know, NECA was not playing. They could have just given him the hammer burst or just his serrated knife. No, they gave him his Troika heavy machine gun. Such a great inclusion, adding to his already amazing look. These first came out as a 2-pack exclusive showcasing the sad scene between the two. I know Kim didn't like that release. San Diego Comic-Con gave us one of the hardest figures to find and most expensive, Anthony Carmine, who came with a Nasher shotgun and Lancer. Only 2,000 were made, so you'll see this on eBay for over 500 in the box. Collecting these figures now is an expensive journey. Now, future series moved on to Gears of War 2. We got a strong start with the Marcus Phoenix versus Locust 2-pack. It gave this great display piece where you can pose Marcus cutting through a Locust. You got blood effects, multiple weapons on each side, and two figures. The 2-pack just made sense. The blood effects were carried over to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive release, which was a headshot drone. It had this extreme headshot effect, which they pulled off well. It was packed with cog tags and a swappable head for a normal display as well, which is a very nice touch. Then you got another Marcus repack, Cog Soldier, Grappler Locust, Cyclops, and Palace Guard. This was the army building series. I would have gotten a couple of these Cog Soldiers. Are you kidding me? He comes with a long shot and Lancer. They just kept trying to outdo themselves. The Grappler, which had this detailed helmet, came with 4 accessories, a Gorgon pistol, Hammer Burst, Bold Talk pistol, and our first grenade, the Ink Grenade. I swear the Locusts make this line so good. The Palace Guard and Cyclops, I just want these packed in my own collection. In Series 4, we get the Grenadier Flamethrower and Elite version, giving us the Nasher on the Locust side, and one of my worst nightmares in Gears 2 Horde mode. He has the fuel tank and everything, giving me PTSD. Now, the first Elite Grenadier was actually a 2009 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Lambent variant. When the light hit this one, the piping just reflected so well. Now, a funnier inclusion is a ticker figure. They gave it a pull back and go play feature. They could have just made the arms articulate up and down, or give us the McFarlane treatment of a stagnant dog meat, but they cared enough to give it a form of movement, and it's such a nice detail. The two standouts from this specific series have to be the Theron disguise variants for Dom and Marcus, which came from the Dark Corners DLC. These looks were featured in the Road to Ruin deleted chapter, and I'm glad they were not only put in the game but given to us as figures. The two heroes in Locust armor, you can't beat these looks. They even give them interchangeable heads to include the helmet. Series 5 starts giving us the big boys, and I'm not talking about a bulky Theron Guard or General Ram, I'm talking a boomer, one accessory, the boom shot. I wish they would have made this guy a little taller, but I'm glad he's a chunky figure. We get his victim, a different looking cog soldier with a Nasher and Lancer, and our first miss of this line, a minor miss, which is the Beast Rider. Not having a blood mount just kind of kills it for me. That's just me being super picky. They're getting so many things right, I can easily excuse it. The figure has a nice deep red, with the final figure in Series 5 being Victor Hoffman, an important COG veteran we had been missing, and one of my preferred characters to use during multiplayer. Now the Toys R Us exclusives were a Grenadier with a frag grenade accessory and Marcus with COG tags. They also gave us a Locust drone and sniper 2-pack. Now they continued their trend of packing this full of accessories. The drone and sniper both had removable mask or goggles, and randomly throwing in a golden hammerburst, which in-game was only available at the time by participating in a retail event in 2008. But they knew what they were doing by making these masks and goggles interchangeable, and later gave us the Locust Hive figure set. 4 figures with swappable heads to really make 6 different Locust types. You had the Gunner, Drone, Bolter, Cyclops, Sniper, and Grappler. It's the only way to get the Locust Bolter variant, but it comes with so many weapons as well. Mirroring this set is a Delta Squad figure set that has Marcus, Dom, Coltrane, and Baird, which uniquely has the Hammer of Dawn. Now the golden weapon trend also carried on with the Marcus and Dom 2-pack, which had the golden Lancer that originally was given in-game through an Xbox Live redemption code included in Gears of War 2 limited edition. Series 6 really was just a heavy Locust drop. NECA dropped some heavy hitters. The Boomer Mauler is one of the best figures. It had a large boomer body and 3 unique accessories, a flail, boom shield, and Mauler helmet, which was removable. It's such a nice touch that it wasn't just molded on, which would have been 100% acceptable, but again, just touching on that level of detail they gave us. Then they gave us Cantus and Scourge. Scourge had his double-sided chainsaw staff. The figure had it all: great head sculpt, detailed paint, and the staff even breaks into 2. Now they had to calm down, so they gave us the Series 3 Cog Soldier repacked with the Series 5 weapon, something for you to pose getting chainsawed or mauled by the Series 6 drops. Now with the end of the Gears 2 line, the Gears 3 figure line, we started to see the decline of NECA. Series 1, we got great inclusions: Clayton Carmine and Anya Stroud. Their Lancers felt a little off to me, but they're 2 inclusions we needed. We also got a new Marquise, which introduced us to the Retro Lancer accessory. But that was all. These series were slowly getting smaller. Now 2 gives us Dom. He came with the sawed-off shotgun, Baird with the Lancer, and a Gold Lancer variant somewhere out there, kind of like a chase version, and Coltrane with the one-shot. They all had their Gears 3 looks, which I really liked. Marcus gets a Journey's End variant with the Golden Retro Lancer. You can see that they're really liking gold weapons at this point. The Locust got the Savage Theron, an amazing look for the Locust and one of my favorite color schemes for them. It comes in 2 different variants with Cleaver accessories. Now Toys R Us got 3 exclusives: a golden Cog Soldier with 2 golden weapons, the Lancer and Retro Lancer, which was alright. I remember using them in multiplayer, but it's just too much gold for me. And then 2 repaints of the Savage Theron variants in red. They switch out the Cleaver as well with the Torque Bow, which was a nice touch. The San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for Gears 3 was Jace, famously played by Michael B. Jordan. It was the Marcus body with his head plopped on, but the most exciting part besides it being Jace for me was him having an Asher. Now the final San Diego Comic-Con exclusive was a 2012 Elite Theron, which was a black variant, and it's crazy that a color swap can do so much for a figure. 3 is my favorite game from this series, but toy-wise, Gears of War 2 won this one. The other 2 lines were able to give us the main villain, but in this one, we didn't get the Locust Queen, which was a big miss. Now, Gears of War Judgment is when we really saw a true decline. Series 1, we got, of course, the main character, Baird. Then they tried tapping into a smaller scale, completely alienating the fans who had already put so much into the normal NECA scale. So it didn't live long. We got Baird, Marcus, Carmine, Coltrane, and Dom figures. They tried different variants like a Bloody Marcus with the Golden Lancer, but this smaller scale just didn't do it for fans and it just ended. Now, before we move on to who took over figures for NECA, we have to shine a spotlight on the Meccano sets. These construction sets were not Lego or Mega. They used metal and plastic components to create these model sets, a Little more adult, but still using mega looking figures. You had the armadillo, which came with Dom and Locust drones. This thing looks amazing. Look at the top turrets. It actually has wheels that all move, and the figures are decent enough to know who it is. Then you have the Centaur. This is a tank, man. You get Coltrane and Marcus with two more drones to add to the army. The weapon swivels and the wheels are massive. These things look ripped right out of the game. I love these sets. The smaller figures play so well on them too. Then you had a larger set, the Locust versus Delta Squad battle construction. You have a watchtower, tanks, boxes, an armadillo, and six figures. You get Baird and Anya here, but also get two new Locust snipers and a drone. It's a fun set. The best set was King Raven though. You can build this cog helicopter complete with a mounted minigun. It was beautiful, easily a must-have. The only critique, swap out the Marcus. You get him in so many other sets already. Give us a basic cog soldier because this is an army builder. Now, of course, they gave us an option to kind of do this with the single figure packs where you can get Carmine A, Marcus, Jace, a Cyclops, Grenadier, or Drone. Now, Judgment took over and this line started to die. It's just what Judgment was doing. It was killing Gears. You got a smaller silverback with Baird, which is a cool and fun idea, but not when it's one of the three final sets. Then you got Halvo Bay Pursuit, which strays too far from the exciting vehicles. And next, Island Bunker Assault set, following this trend. And even though the Top Gun swivels and is fun, it just isn't as exciting as an Armadillo, Centaur, or King Raven. Two of the three sets having Baird as well. I know it's his game, but man, give me some variety if you're not going to give me a vehicle to hide him in. Now back to our larger figures. McFarlane took over the license from NECA in 2006 and produced toys for Gears of War 4, which had similar quality, with the main difference being the inclusion of stands. We got JD Phoenix, Kate, Del Walker, and Marcus, all great additions. They look like the characters have multiple accessories, with Walker having a buzzkill, which is amazing. It just ended here though. No additional figures, no enemies to go with it. It's just bittersweet watching a toy line die. For Gears of War 5, McFarlane was out, Storm Collectibles took over, and these figures were interesting. They came decked out with accessories, had amazing articulation, letting you get them in lots of poses. Marcus, Coltrane, and Kate were included on the cog side, and it made me realize I gotta look more at Storm Collectibles. They had multiple hands, head sculpts, and weapons. These were high quality figures. Coltrane having his football helmet finally. I'm surprised this variant was never done by NECA. They even let you age Marcus depending on which head you gave him. You got a Locust Disciple, which came with removable sniper goggles and a Cyclops helmet, so you can make different variants of the enemy. And they gave him a little armory with a long shot, boom shot, and bolt talk pistol. The Warden is the standout though. He's an imposing figure, a true brute. He comes with a removable helmet and two breaker maces that rotate just like in the game. The detail in his body, the cape, the size, he's everything to me. He even comes with the battle damage cog head, which fans pointed out can swap with other figures to create a cog soldier. Now they had a GameStop exclusive variant for Marcus Phoenix. It was the vintage armor variant, which looked good, but Storm Collectibles ended its Gears line just when exciting news was dropping. A slated Dom and Myra figure were cancelled. These weren't just early development renders either. We had an actual look at the figures and they were just perfect. I would have finally gotten my Locust Queen on a shelf. And while other cogs and characters are still on my list of needing a figure, I think these companies did an amazing job building a good chunk of Gears of War in our displays. The dream would have been to have a Berserker as a centerpiece item. But let me know if you have any of these. And if you don't and you want to see more of them, I have to shout out my boy Shelf Life. He has an insane collection and he's always showing off these Gears figures. Thanks for watching, and if you want to support these videos, be sure to like and subscribe, and consider joining the Toy Cantina for only $1 a month. I'll see you guys in the next toy breakdown.